Let's get this straight now. I never fucked anybody over in my life. Didn't have it coming to it. You got that? All I have in this world is my balls and my word. And I don't break them for no one. Do you understand? You want to go on with me? You say it. You don't? Then you make a move.
Hail and welcome, brothers and sisters. I'm Steve Walton. This is the Lodanis Dragonstorm channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. I'm going to get to 1,000 and get this monetized. I'm definitely getting the watch hours, but I need 1,000 subscribers to get this channel to monetization, which is my goal. So if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing, sharing out that link. I have this is my second channel, and I have been supporting independent creators for years now, and it's been a fun journey. It's been troubling at times. It's been difficult at times. I had a lot of people who did not like me for some reason or another. And through the experiences of narcissistic abuse that I've been through, which is going to be the focus of this channel from moving forward, now I understand. When you go through narcissistic abuse, when you go through being manipulated and used and triangulated and, love bombed and devalued and used, when you go through all of that, it's usually because you're an empathetic person, compassionate, caring, loving, forgiving. You've been through things in your life, and so you see the best in other people. You want to carry them through. You want to be there for them. Almost, in some ways, like you wish somebody had been there for you when you were going through your own trials and tribulations. But our strengths can be used as our weaknesses when you're dealing with liars and disingenuous people. And so as I was helping to build up an indie sphere that I'm involved in, it's kind of like another part of YouTube, I encountered people who hated themselves, I think, when it comes down to it. People who see a bright light in somebody else, positivity, can't believe that someone else is kind or compassionate. That doesn't register. Or they themselves have cluster B personality disorders, like narcissism. And so they seek to destroy you. And as many of you out there know, the victims of narcissistic or narcissistic abuse, it is that light that draws those damaged people to you, those demonic people, because they want to snuff that out. They don't have a light within themselves. They want to drain others of their value, their resources, their finances, their name, their recognition, their friendships, associations, whatever it is. They want to drain you of that and then destroy you in the process to make themselves feel better. And so as I was building up this community, I encountered people just like that. And now that I've been through what I've been through, I see it. You get these new eyes. You level. To all my survivors and thrivers out there, you're not alone. Gone through what I have gone through, and seeing people for who they are, seeing a lot of people for who they are now, and the choices that they've made, choices that have baffled me in the past. I believe that having gone through the experiences that I have, it's time for me to give back. A lot of the channels, narc abuse coaches, and people who have shared their experiences, Facebook groups, on TikTok and Instagram, there's all the platforms that I have been researching narcissistic personality disorder and sociopaths too, because my narcissist in particular is a narcissistic sociopath. I understand, having gone through it and having researched everything and seeing what you guys have gone through. Not only do our friends and family, sometimes former friends, because of what we've gone through, do not understand what has happened. Need somebody out there that's going to explain the damage, the utter chaos, the almost irresistible allure of dealing with a person who has no qualms whatsoever, lying, manipulating, destroying others, smiling at your face, promising you, future faking and promising you all these things, bringing you up on highs and lows, trapping you in a trauma bond, keeping you in fight or flight. So these types of red flags that some people may see coming is commonplace to them. We're all built different. We all have different experiences in this life. We're all here to learn different lessons. And so, like, I wish I could go back in time and believe all of the people who tried to warn me about my narcissist, because those observations are valid. They were valid, but I couldn't see them because I had lessons I needed to learn, just like you had lessons I needed to learn in life. And I really wanted to believe, most likely like you, that there was a light, there was a better person, there was a chance for your narcissist to be better and do better, stop being an abusive parent, stop being a liar, a con artist, manipulator. All of the bad things that you believed was damage caused to them by others, when in fact the damage that was caused to them was done a long time ago, and they never chose to repair it. They chose to become their demons and pass on that pain, destroy other people, and live as a parasite. I'm hoping that people who have never understood what this is will watch this or see some of my content and understand, if they had a friend who have gone through narcissistic abuse and the PTSD and the trauma and just everything that comes after it, and have a little bit more of an insight. And I also want to be here for those of us who have been through it, because I understand. I've heard stories of people who have gone through 20 years, 25 years, almost an entire lifetime. People with a narcissist in a narcissistic relationship, toxic relationship. I've heard stories of people with narcissistic parents and children even. And I don't know how some of y'all are alive. I don't know. Because I went through what I went through for 2 years. Just 2 years. And it derailed me, financially destroyed me. It exasperated many of the childhood traumas that I had thought I'd overcome. But my narcissist used every chink in the armor, every weakness, to bring down me at the best version of myself. Pretty sure that's what they've done to you. It's funny. My Narcopath would use terms like many narcissists do, and at least from the way that I've understood it from other people's stories, they project their behaviors on others. And my narcissist would say, you're like a tick. You're feeding off my blood. When she's a tick, like, she is the parasite. She is the liar, the cheater, the manipulator. If you've seen some of my earlier content, then I've pretty much laid out a lot of it. Not everything, but I pretty much laid out a lot of what I went through. Just a quick overview of my narcissist. She was someone that I had known for most of my life. She meant a lot to me from an early age. She was very pretty. Through her drug use, that and age and being evil, that pretty shell facade is falling apart now. But she had gone through a hell of a lot in her childhood, more than me. I've been through some shit, but she was adopted into a family of sister brothers and sister mom and brother uncles by adoptive parents who used these children for crime. They taught them how to be criminals. The boys they would teach how to be con artists. The girls they would traffic, basically use them as underage girls to secure favor with other people. That's how she came about, to the point where she hates her own mom because her mom was abused and destroyed by her adoptive parents, and so her sister mom had her, and then she was trafficked. Like 12 years old. You're 12 years old being given to a 26-year-old or 20-something-year-old to secure favor for crime. Like, that's how she grew up. And then she had these uncle brothers who are all drug addicts or con artists. One of them got ejected out of the United States for being a con artist and can't even come back here. Then, because of probably karma, I would say, the foster dad, was a narcissist himself, I believe. He would go into, praising and hating, like a manic disorder. And the foster mother was an enabler of abuse. And when the foster mother died, the foster father died, I guess you would say, of a broken heart, but it's hard to imagine people like that having hearts. Within a year, and my narcissist, my narcopath was left to our own devices at 15, and was kind of stuck. You know, I mean, it was a sad story that she was stuck in survival mode. She never matured emotionally, and she learned how to manipulate because she was surrounded by con artists and users and enablers of abuse throughout her entire life, you know, and to the point where someone that pretty and uses sex, because she had been taught to at a very, very early age, use sex to manipulate. She did that and just broke this whole line of men. Like I guess I've known her for a long time, and there's a line of broken, destroyed men. One of them is dying right now. She'll tell you the story that he cheated and he was this and that, and he did this and that to her. When, in fact, like, he's the one dying in a hospital right now because of the abuse that, and I have no idea how many other stories I don't know. I would imagine that she, given what she had done to me, which was triangulate me, abuse me, use me, put me on highs and lows, love bombed, evaluation, and then try to drive me to suicide several times. And the story itself is not private, and as far as the YouTube community that my other channel where I exist in, but there are people that support her and support that behavior, like other toxic, awful, evil people that will actually have her on live streams and then trying to defend her evil. This is what narcissists do. They surround themselves with flying monkeys and enablers of abuse that have her in groups, and they further try to. It's crazy how many people have actually tried to add to that abuse. But it's not only been those who are just destructive, toxic people themselves. It's also been friends who have unknowingly added to that cycle of abuse. Either people who were frenemies and I didn't see them until I started creating boundaries, and they got really upset that I was, enforcing my personal space. Or they had never been through narcissistic abuse, and they, were questioning me and got upset with me and would come at me, without understanding what was going on. One of my good friends on YouTube, he's a friend in personal life. We've been, on this YouTube journey together. He keeps trying to hammer it into my head, like, it's okay to be funny, or it's okay to be talked about. You know what I mean? Like, to be self-deprecating a little bit, which I've always been. It's part of my humor, and I still am to this day. But one of the devices that was used against me, and also one of the misconceptions, because nobody understood the abuse I was going through, is that I'm hyper-defensive. I was hyper-defensive because I was dealing with a lying, manipulating person who was triangulating me with other men, who was telling other men lies about me and me lies about them, and then using us against each other, and just creating this soup of toxicity in order to hide who she was. Yes, I was hyper-defensive and I was hyper-aggressive because I had been triangulated and I was being torn up and down all the time. Like, these are misconceptions that people who have never been through what we've been through just they don't understand. They don't see it. And like I said, to some people it's commonplace. They see a red flag, they're like, no, and they walk away. And that's probably because in another life, or a lesson they've already learned in this one, they recognize that and walk away from it. Good for them. So this channel is going to be confronting narcissistic abuse, awareness, coaching, being here for you guys. I want to hear stories from you in the comments. I want to have people on that have been through it. I want to interview people that have gone through it. I want to be a part of the healing aspect of this community. I feel like it's not only something that's going to help continue to heal and reaffirm me, but also to help others, which is something that I've always wanted to do, help other people. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, before this video is over, and thank you guys if you're still watching, and I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to my story. I'm going to be putting out lessons that I have learned, and hopefully things that will help you. Today, I would like to I would like to affirm to you, first off, a video that I put out yesterday. It seems to be doing well, and I appreciate everybody who's seen that, liked it, commented, shared it out. Owning your shit. Owning your shit. Owning your shit is a very important part of the healing process. At the end of the day, yes, we were abused, we were traumatized, we were stuck in fight or flight, we were put in a trauma bond, triangulated with other people, lied to constantly, told that things were going to get better for them to only get worse, kept hoping against hope that there was a light, within this person that was simply just a reflection of our own, our own goodness, our own love being reflected back at us, because that's what con artists and manipulators do. All these things are true. And as I said in that video, you got to own your shit. We decided to stay. We decided to keep hoping. We decided to be fooled. But through all that fire, we have been forged as better people. Right? Am I wrong, my friends out there? Tell me in the comments. Do you not now have a new pair of eyes? For those of you who have healed, for those of you who are still healing, this is what you can expect as you get over the abuse you went through, as you start working through your PTSD, as you begin knowing your worth again and becoming stronger. You will get a new pair of eyes. You will be able to see manipulators and manipulation coming a while away. You will see grown-ass children, people posing as adults, out there snickering and laughing and playing little fucking high school games, and you'll just see it and know it. And it won't be hurtful. If you're a compassionate person, usually this type of abuse happens to we who are very compassionate, empathetic people. It won't hurt you like it did before. You're going to laugh at it. You're going to just it's not even just that it's disgusting. And you're going to go through different phases as you heal. All right? You're gonna go through the depression. You're gonna go through the woe is me. You're gonna go through the. Remember, you're coming off of someone who had put you in fight or flight, someone who raised you up with love bombing and attention to crash you down, to raise you up just to crash you down further, over and over again. That's what the narcissist does. That's what the sociopaths do, to keep you trapped. The healing process is going to be that too. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days when you feel your worth. You're going to have days when you're sad. You're going to have nights when you can't sleep. You're going to go through this crying. You're going to go through all that, and then you're going to hit anger. Embrace that anger. Really, I know some people say not to do that, but no, do that. Anger is more constructive than sadness and depression. Embrace the hate. You have every right to be hateful. You have every right to be angry. You just dealt with one of the most evil types of people, demonic people on this planet. Godless, horrible. They go into hell. They are burning. If they even make it into an afterlife off this plane and don't get stuck as some kind of freaking poltergeist of evil, you know what I mean, for the rest of eternity, haunting somewhere. Like these are nasty, terrible people. They're demonic. You have every right to hate. That hate is constructive. That hate will help to build you up. But once you get past the hate, you begin to know your worth. Right? You reaffirm them boundaries. You create a new you. Every weakness that you had that made you susceptible to that con, all right, what you thought was a strength now becomes a true strength. So remember, that lying, manipulating piece of trash, whatever they were. Mine's a freaking drug addict slut. She on her back. She doesn't work. She doesn't take care of her kids. She lies about everything. She projects every bad thing upon everyone. She uses drugs to escape. Like, that's all she does, man. She don't pay no rent. She don't pay no bills. She on her back making that money for drugs and everything else that she does. And it's a damn shame because she's passing on her bad behavior and training that poor kid. The kid of, by the way, the guy that's dying in the hospital. So not only did she destroy that generation, she's destroying the next generation with her shit. Like, I'm talking about evil people. Once you get past all that scarring, and you start to heal, you have two choices. That's the way I see it. You have two choices. We're all built different. Some of us need to just block and move on. All right, you can't deal with it no more. Like, there's no point in it no more. You're gonna block him and move on. I'm coming from the perspective of someone who didn't have any children, thank God, with my Narcopath, because I dropped more loads in that polluted vagina than banks have hid Nazi gold. Okay, thank God we didn't have a kid. Either you're gonna block and move on, or if you have kids with them, then you're probably going to take my second option, which is, but the first option, block and move on, have no contact, and I'll tell you why that's also a great strategy. Or you fight back. There is nothing more dangerous than an empowered empath. There is nothing more dangerous than a person who has been through narcissistic abuse and can mirror that shit back. Like I said, if you when you're in the weak stages, when you're healing, when you're first coming back from all of that, remember that narcissist is hoovering you, right? That narcissist believes they own you. You're a thing. You're not a person. You're an object. You are a thing to them. That's the sociopath in them. You're theirs. You're that supply. They're only cutting you off and leaving you alone right now so that they can go fucking triangulate some other people and make money over there. But as soon as they start seeing your strength again, well, they're going to come back because they expect that same empathetic, forgiving, wonderful, loving person that they can con and destroy. They expect to come back and get more. It's all about validating their ego because they have a very weak ego. They're emotional immaturity. These are damaged, terrible people. Didn't fight their demons. Didn't overcome them. They embraced them. Became evil. So cut it off. That it's actually a blessing when they cut you out, when they put you on that timeout, when they're trying to abuse you with that again. And you know the cycles, you've been through it. You know them cycles. So that's actually a blessing when you're at that stage. Like mine blessed me. Mine came, acted like she was moving down here, which was the height of what I'd always wanted. Thank God it never happened. And then started going to, try to triangulate me again. Same routine with some gay dude in Smyrna, pagans, and a couple other guys. Her drug dealer, another drug dealer. Oh God, it's a mess. But I recognized it. Well, at this point, I recognized what to do. Cut them out, no contact. That's stage one. Fighting them back. Fighting them back is mirroring the narcissist. It's a lot of different things, but this is how you win. You want to hurt that narcissist? You really want to hurt that piece of demonic trash? First off, they live in pain and they attract nothing but negativity. So you could go no contact and never talk to them again and trust and believe they're living in hell. They are getting what comes back to them. This is one of the reasons why they are the way that they are. They never did the healing, confronted their demons, stopped the cycles of self-defeat, stopped the cycles of toxicity and using and manipulating and lying, and continued it on. And so they live in this trapped cycle of toxic hell that they are never going to come back from. And instead of taking responsibility, which is part of owning yourself, they shift the blame onto others. I mean, so you could go no contact and they're going to live in hell. Trust. Everything about that narcissist is fake. They're illusionists. When they're out there saying, "Oh, I'm engaged now, or I'm with this one now, or I'm with that one now." First off, every statement that they make is a game. And it's not just a game projected towards you to continue to hurt you. It's also a game toward the other guys or girls or whoever that they are triangulating and hurting at the same time while they're building one up to crash them down. They're going to crash them down with one of the other people that they are now hurting, probably from a past cycle of trauma. Like I said, it's all crap. It's all abuse. But if you fight them back, this is how I did it. This channel is a part of that. I took what this person did to me, what she did to me, and I embraced it. I embraced the lessons. I embraced my mistakes. I embraced just the new perspective that I have. And understanding through, thankfully, narcissistic abuse coaches, recovery awareness communities, listening to people's stories, talking to others. Narcissists hate the truth. They hate the truth. They hate this is why they project themselves on other people. This is why they connect themselves to other people to absorb them, because they have no light inside themselves. And they hate the truth. They hate being exposed. Oh, they hate that, because then they have to face their shit. And it's all a part of a cycle of toxicity, because what happens when you are in the devaluation period with a narcissist? They smear campaign you. They talk trash about you. They find your enemies. They just talk, they find the people that don't like you, and then they try to convince others who have or know you that you're someone that you're not, that you're them, That's part of the reactive abuse cycle. I got caught in that for a while because I was acting wreck because I was being abused, and I was going into reactive abuse. And she used that to point the finger and say, he's really the problem. And the other people in this community and outside this community, anybody that knew us that didn't like me, or they're like snakes in the grass, they used that to point the finger and go, yeah, look, see, I told you Steve Walton is a terrible person. He really is an awful person. A lot of sick people out there. In order to stop that, because it's coming, no matter what, it's coming, no matter what, learn how to control your emotions. Learn how to approach things emotionless, because another thing that narcissists can't stand, logic, reason. Narcissists can't handle logic or reason. They don't live in reality. They live in the world of their own making, and that world of their own making is dependent upon their day and their mood. It can change and shift throughout the day. They can be on one dick or be in one vagina, and that's the person that they're building up, only to later on that day jump on another one, because the first one needs to be devalued, and they need to elevate another one in order to continue that trauma bond. Remember, these serial cheaters, they don't value their bodies, they don't value others, they don't value themselves, they don't care, they hoes. Their reality is dependent upon the moment, completely upon the moment. They do not like logic or reason. Logic, the truth. They can't stand those things. Learn how to control your emotional reactions. Learn how not to give in, too. Treat them the way they need to be. Mirror them. Treat them the way they need to be treated. You don't matter to me. Sometimes not even responding is great. What I learned was that when I was going off on my abuser and saying her name, she was getting off on that. Narcissists get off on positive or negative attention. They just want attention. That's what they need. Their inner child is constantly having a temper tantrum. They are selfish. They only want what they want, and they're kicking and screaming, crying in their blankie. Begging for a baba. They want. So when I stopped using her name, like, everybody that knows her knows who I'm talking about. Everybody that knows the situation knows who I'm talking about. People that don't know don't need to know, because I'm confronting the issue of what I dealt with. I'm confronting the issue of narcissistic abuse and awareness, right? So, like, those of you that don't know, you don't need to know. If you're really that curious, the information's out there, but it's what it is. That drives her crazy. Telling the truth. Be honest. Being honest means owning your shit. That's why owning your shit is very important. Like, what you did, you gotta admit you did. That way, when you have to confront, did Steve really do this? Did Steve really say this? Yes, I really did say or do this. But this is also what was going on. Truth, truth, truth. Being honest. Very important. We made mistakes as victims in trusting this narcissist. We made mistakes in our reactive abuse. We made mistakes the time. We have to admit that. But that narcissist is the root cause of all problems, along with your own choices. I'm going to say that too, along with your choice to continue to remain in that trauma bond, and which is inescapable sometimes. Like, guys, I understand. Like, it's got to be real talk. It's got to be. I understand what you went through. I understand how hurt you are. If you're watching this and you're still healing, like, I understand. This will make more sense to you when you become stronger, when you realize the tank that you are, the powerful person that you have become, that you will become. You will understand this. And those of you who have been through it, you know what I'm saying. And those of you that are further along than me, if you have any other suggestions, please put them in the comments, because I'd love to hear them. I'm still on this journey myself. Yeah, fighting them back, mirror them. They hate logic and reason. So you go tell the truth. Just tell the truth. It's what it is. They hate that. They hiding. We will hide from that. It will make them act out even more. It'll make them go fight or flight. It'll make them go fight or flight because that's what they put you in, because that's how they live. So it'll make them smear campaign you more, or it'll make them run in terror. Either way, you're winning. Controlling your emotions, controlling your reactions. Don't give people what they want. Haters, liars, people that are trying to fuck with you. God, I've learned so much from this whole experience. Don't give them what they want. You know what they want. You can see it coming a mile away, especially if you've been through this type of abuse. You know exactly what these childlike adults are looking for, and so you don't give them what they want. Learn how learn to control your emotions. Learn how to control when to speak, when not to speak, how to speak. My narcissist going fucking crazy right now, going nuts. Her karma's crashing down on her. The triangulations, she's got going on, like she's attracting exactly what she was putting out and lying about other people. The only people that I feel bad about in this situation is her son, who has had to go through his entire life. I've known him since he was a baby. Has had to go through his entire life with this awful slut-ass drug addict mom. Lying piece of shit that has not taught him any decent value in his life, and now she's training her daughter to be just like her, continuing that cycle of abuse. The enabling from her foster mother, the abuse from her father, the way that her mom she's just like her mom. She's who never faced her demons, and now she's doing this to this poor kid, killing another generation of his family, destroying another generation of his family that she had a kid with. It's awful. It's awful. But there's nothing you can do. Sometimes there's nothing you can do for some people. Sometimes there's nothing you can do for... We ain't here to save everybody. We're only here to save ourselves. Reaffirm your boundaries, y'all. That's an important part of all this. Reaffirm your boundaries. Do not let them down. That's what that narcissist used to get you in the first place, my compassionate brothers and sisters. Ain't nothing more dangerous to a toxic person than an empowered empath with strong boundaries. Make sure your boundaries are strong. And when you create strong boundaries, self-respect, you will not cross this line, bitch, no matter who the fuck you are. You will see people fall away from you because they can't get over on you anymore. They can't come at you no more because you ain't taking shit. You can also use that. I've mentioned this in the video on my TikTok. I think it was TikTok. You can also use your boundaries to check other people, to chest bump people, to see if they're real or not. Sometimes, especially when you've been through the type of abuse that we've been through, you got to check somebody. You have to. You got to make sure people are real around you. You don't know. It's also an unfortunate circumstance of your friends or some of the friends that you have lost, or family members or people that you have lost some respect with because of what you went through, who do not understand what you have gone through. They don't look at you the same. And I understand, and you have to understand that. You have to understand that some people will not see you the same after you have been through this type of abuse. You're locked in this toxic cycle. What you were drugged through, what you were put through, what you will let yourself, because from their perspective, like, you kept making these bad decisions, and in truth we did, but they do not understand the levels of manipulation, toxicity, that the lengths that these people go to. Like, I don't talk about it very often, but my Narcopath, hacking into my social media, coming at me from other directions, coming at me from friends, family, connections, anything that she can from a third party to trigger me and keep me stuck in fight or flight in a trauma bond. She doing that. She was on YouTube. She got her own YouTube channel. She had her on YouTube for months. She was like, I'm leaving him alone to let him heal. Bullshit. Every freaking week she was playing an intro that I made for her. So that was Walton's Girl intro. Every week she was on there calling me a thing, and other dudes a thing that she was triangulating me with. Every week she was every week trying to come at me. I didn't watch that content, but eventually I went back and took a look to see what was going on as I was going through my healing process. And unfortunately, even admitting that, probably getting her off. She's like, oh my God, he was looking He was looking. Attention, attention, attention. Like, yeah, that's another thing too. When they hoover on you, don't give them no attention. Don't give them no attention. Call out their bullshit. Call out, firm your boundaries if you need to, depending on how you do it. Stay honest. Like I said, they hate truth. They hate truth. They hate integrity. They hate logic. So stay on it. She tried to break into my, she tried to break into my Facebook a couple weeks ago. Took a screenshot of it, put it right out there. It was from her hometown. Like, you can't deny it. Who the hell else is trying to break into my social media accounts but the person, but that person. Put it right out there. At this point, at least for me, I got my narcissist on the run. Now, because I made this video, she's probably going to try and chest bump again or try and get my attention. She has third parties in my friends, within my friends, because we've known each other for so long. We got a lot of the same friends. And on YouTube, who are also evil fucks who try to destroy people and try and get them to kill themselves. I am not kidding you. People that meme others and try to get them to commit suicide. So she's got evil allies, but like with your narcissist, right? They're your trash collector. Remember that. Anybody that's co-signing or still promoting or trying to reinforce the false narratives of that narcissist, they are all trash and evil. They collect themselves together. Let that karma cluster. Let that bad karma cluster together. It will come back on them. You don't even need to look. Don't even recognize. They're just trying to bring you down. Don't give them the reactions they're looking for. I don't even look at any of them live streams. I don't look at nobody's tweets. I don't look at any of the I don't know. But I'll tell you what I do notice. When it comes into my periphery, who's the enabling that abuser. So just like in your social life, whoever is enabling that abuser, it don't matter if it's been your friend for 10 years. It don't matter who it is. Cut them out. It's cancer. Cut them out. And like some of your friends who had to walk away from you when you were being duped by that con artist, you're now going to have to do that to others until they learn their lesson, because they may have a lesson that they have to learn. Whether they are, unfortunately, and this kind of goes for us too, it's a damn shame, but whether they too stupid to realize it yet, or they are enablers of that abuser. Either way, that's only toxicity, and you got to walk away from it. Thankfully, I'm still friends with a couple people who had to walk away from me in the most neutral way that they could because I didn't see what was going on. I was blinded by the light. I was looking at the reflection of myself in her, and I kept fighting because I wanted to believe that there was something good in that person, that if I, sacrificed enough, gave enough, stayed long enough, proved myself enough, that they would eventually come around. But, narcissists, they're demons. They're demonic. They have a contract. I listen to a lot of Christians now, and I'm familiar with Christianity. I'm pagan, and some of so I understand the terminology and a lot of what Christians are saying, and it's true. It's true in the sense of source and good and evil, and just universal truth that. These people, these narcissists, these sociopaths, these people have made a contract with the devil. And that contract only blesses them when they are destroying someone else. When they have no one to destroy, the devil will destroy them. And that's the damn truth of it. If they are not displacing their bad karma by sucking the life out of someone else, lying and destroying them, their bad karma comes back to them. That's happening to my Narcopath right now. She was, first off, when she came down here to move in, one of the guys she was triangulating me with called Children and Youth Services on her because she'd never kid in school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the demons came out, which then caused her to go, one of the reasons that she left, besides just coming down here to reaffirm the trauma bond and try and get me to myself again. And while she was down here, it was also used as a threat to the other dudes she was triangulating. Dudes, plural, by the way. She loves to put a strap on and pegging peggins up there. She She also got them to send her money, or probably that one to send her money, right? So it was a cycle of abuse, because it's a cycle of abuse, right? She got abused. She got that attention. Like I said, they like negative and positive attention. So she got abused, and she was abusing. She left me to abuse me to prove loyalty to him or somebody else. And then she went up there, and she's probably going through the same cycle with them, you know? It is important to remove yourself from that cycle. They're evil. That karma's coming back. They exist in bad karma. You got to remove yourself from that contract. You got to remove yourself from that soul contract with that person. And just watch it. They're going to fall apart. Like she, part of the karma that she got is she was arrested in Maryland doing a drug run. She was arrested for PCP and meth and pills and all this stuff. And now she's got to face, for the first time in her life, now she got to go to court for drugs, something she's been peddling for a long time. And I will bet you, because the person that she ran to get some of those drugs, especially them dippers and that PCP, were friends of one of the dudes she triangulated other dudes with. I think it was the Peggin. And they probably set her up, because she's evil. They stabbing everybody. They're stabbing all the other people involved in those toxic circles. And now she's going to get it. Her karma's coming back to her. Trust and believe. They cannot escape their fate. When it comes to fighting a narcissist, if you really want to, you do what I do. All right? Do what I do. I know this has been a long-ass video. And thank you guys so much if you continue to watch this. I really appreciate you. But do what I do. Measure your responses with logic and reason, not emotion. Cut them out. Put them on timeout. No contact, they ass. That hurts. That's a narcissistic injury that they cannot come back from, because they need validation. Why aren't you talking to me? Don't pay attention. Social media posts, anything that they put out, don't pay attention. Don't confront any of their accusations, their shifting of blame, their bullshit, whatever narrative that. Don't confront it directly. Just keep talking. Keep telling the truth. Keep telling stories. Keep telling the truth. They hate that. That's narcissistic injury. That's killing them. Be happy. Not fake happy. Not smile. Don't do what they do. Because they smile. They out there smiling, acting like everything's good all the time when they are dead inside. Really be happy. Understand your self-worth. Reaffirm your boundaries. Don't let nobody step over them lines. No more. Know when and when not to say something. That goes along with the narcissist and with everybody, the other toxic person that comes through in your life. Cut out every single person. Don't even let them know it. You ain't got to advertise it. Don't be loud. Like I said, not from emotion, logic and reason. Cut out every single person, or make a mental note of who supports your abuser, who has supported them, who validates them. They're going to get theirs. And if you so choose, later in the future, as you grow powerful again and reclaim yourself and your strength, you'll have a chance to step on them later. Trust and believe. The universe, God, will open those doors for you to make the decision. Hey, this evil asshole who was supporting or doing this against you, here, you can step on them right now, and it's up to you whether or not you choose to. Also, choosing to kind of means looking back in the rear view, and you want to look forward. Forget about the past. Forget about who you thought that narcissist was. That is not who they were. Who they are is who they showed you to be. Who they proved through actions, not words, not the bullshit that came out of their mouth, but by their actions, their consistent history of shit. Narcissists are the easiest people to read. If you really want to fight them, all you got to do is look back at all the things that they've done, what they've said versus what they've done, and you will see a consistent pattern of immaturity, stupid mistakes. They can't break. They don't grow. They're not growing as people. They only suck the life out of others. They mimic like a chameleon. They will mimic others. They can only do this for a short time because their reality is only within a moment before they're off jumping on another dick, jumping another vagina, whatever, going to the next victim. So you know the cycle. Predict them. Understand what's coming. You know what's coming. They don't change. They're stupid people. They're not smart. They're good at manipulation. But these are not smart people. You're smarter. You're also a tank. You're also truly compassionate, truly empathetic, emotionally intelligent. And now you have been given an armor that is unlike any other, with a sight that has been granted to you that you have never had before. Use all of these things to fight back against your narcissist. Mirror them. Do not become them, but mirror them. Remember, they project. Everything that they've ever done to you is exactly what they hate. And that's why they do it to you. You can win. Now, winning is defined in each person, depending upon who they are and their own path. So your winning might be just walking away and never recognizing them again. My winning is going to be doing exactly what my narcissist did to me. I am going to use my platform, my voice, my charisma. I'm going to use all of the strengths that my narcissist tried to take from me and destroy me. I'm going to use all those things to expose her for who she is. And I'm also going to use it to help heal others. Using the truth, integrity, emotional intelligence, logic and reason, compassion, and loving and caring for each and every one of you who has been through what we've been through. Together we're going to get through this. Please leave your stories in the comments, what you thought, your perspective. If you are a person who is going through healing right now, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to see it. I'm going to read every comment, and I'm there with you. Those of you who are kind of in the stage where I'm at, tell me about how you feel and what you think of my ideas and what I've said. And those of you who are well beyond, who are like years away from your narcissist, who have evolved and gone to that higher level, one that I'm going to attain one day, please give me and other people that are watching this some insights as to what you have discovered. I would love to hear them. I'm looking for all kind of engagement. And again, guys, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate you. I'm going to be doing videos that are a lot shorter than this in the future. But some things I wanted to get off my chest and impart with y'all. My love to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you. Remember to support your independent creators. Support your fellow survivors and thrivers. And if you are a person who has not been through this type of abuse and you know someone who has, and you're like asking yourself what's going on, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, because I'm going to be talking about one of the videos I'm going to do coming up is specifically for those friends and family who have never been through it and didn't understand what was going on. And I'm going to explain to you why your loved one, why your friend, why the person you cared about made some of those horrible decisions and kept putting themselves through strife. There are reasons, and those reasons are nefarious. They were caused by demonic people, and I hope that I can help you understand. I love all you guys. My name is Lodonis Ravenwolf Dragonstorm. I'm your seer and sage. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Suffer no narcs.